If Adam chose to use his God-given freedom to choose righteousness, to choose good works, to choose to obey God, after a certain amount of freedom, Adam would always use his freedom to triumph over sin, never to sin, always defeating sin. So this strong or confirmed freedom is the freedom of God. God has freedom. He always uses freedom to defeat sin. God can never sin because his freedom is strong or confirmed freedom. Always defeating sin, always triumphing over sin. God first created the first Adam, you and me included, with weak or simple freedom to test us. After a certain length of testing, after a time of testing, probation, God would then give us strong or confirmed freedom, never to sin again. The only condition of receiving this kind of freedom, God-like freedom, is to obey, fulfill, keep the covenant of works. After a certain time, God will give this freedom, which will lead us to eternal life. This was God's original plan. Original plan. It first fulfilled this covenant, and all of you and me would receive this freedom at the time of our birth. Strong freedom, confirmed freedom, at the time of our birth. There will be no sin, and there will be no coronavirus, no cancer, no heart disease, no diabetes, no accidents, no lack of money, no climate problems, no wars, no problems. But because the first Adam, with whom we are included, failed to keep the covenant of works with his weak, simple freedom, he fell into a great problem. A great problem. The great problem that Adam and Eve created by sinning against God is exactly the opposite of these three. Exactly the opposite of these three. Instead of righteousness, peace, because of his sin, he is in constant fear, anxiety, worry. The number one most common psychological problem around the world, no comparison, is worry. Worry. Because of his sin, you and I all are born as slave to sin, slave to unrighteousness, slave to wickedness. Thereby we are constantly in fear, worry, anxiety. Thereby we do not experience full, perfect joy. Lack of joy. Instead of joy, we are sad. This is the result of Adam and Eve, and all of you and me included, breaking the first covenant. The book of Hebrews calls this the old covenant, the first covenant, the Adamic covenant, the Mosaic covenant. So instead of receiving from God eternal life, we have received from him simply the opposite of eternal life, eternal death, unrighteousness, fear, and sadness. So two problems created by Adam. First problem, he failed to keep the covenant of works, the everlasting, the eternal, the permanent covenant. Second problem, because he failed this most important, most serious, most holy covenant of God. Because he failed, he created the second problem, which is eternal death. Eternal death. When God looks you at me, when he sees you, when he watches over you, he sees many problems, full of problems. But for him, the two greatest problems you and I have, without exception, is these two problems.